I'm quite sure the best $6.98 I've ever spent in my life has been at the bargain bins at Barnes & Noble. I like to look for good buys there. For at the bin, on this one particular day, I located a book called Way to God by Mahatma Gandhi. And in that book, he does something that's just so hard to do. He defines God. And he defines God as this: God is certainly one. He has no second. He is unfathomable, unknowable, and unknown to the vast majority of mankind. He is everywhere. He sees without eyes and hears without ears. He is formless and invisible. He is uncreate, has no father, mother, or child, and yet he allows himself to be worshipped as father, mother, wife, and child. He allows himself even to be worshipped as stock and stone, although he is none of these things. He is the most elusive. He is the nearest to us if we would but know the fact. But he is the farthest from us when we do not want to realize his omnipresence. God is everywhere present. There is no place that God is not. He's all strength and all knowing. He speaks about God being a mysterious power that we feel but cannot see. God is consciousness, God is life, very closely aligned to the unity beliefs. He goes on to describe God as being wholly good. God is truth. God is love. God is divine law in the universe, and God is infinite mercy. God is all good in and through and around all things. He is love, intelligence, and power and strength. Whatever we need, God is. If we ever believe we're alone, we are forgetting who God is. If ever we feel there is a problem with no answer, we are forgetting who God is. If ever we feel we don't have the strength to endure, we are forgetting who God is. God is all these things and more to all of us. But who are we? We started out trying to get just the tiniest glimpse of God to help us understand that God is everywhere. That God resides, if he's everywhere, in all things, all the time. This, of course, includes us. In the Hebrew Bible, in the book of Genesis, we're told that we are made in the image and likeness of God. But what does it really mean to be made in the image and likeness? We hear this all the time. We say this. What does it mean? Gandhi says, we may not be God, but we are of God. Just a little drop of water of the ocean. And what can that little drop do for me right here, right now? What power does that little drop hold for me? He speaks about what Jesus knew and was trying to illustrate for us about who we are and what we're made of. He says, and I quote, he knew himself to be an expression of God, or the activity of God life, and intelligence pressing itself into visibility. He knew that the kingdom of God, the wealth of the universe, was within the depth potential within himself. God, the divine law, the substance of all creation, only has a channel to express through us. So not only is that great news for how we can traverse through life, but this is great responsibility too. We have a part to play. We have a part to play. God needs us to live out our divine purpose in this life. You have a part to play. God is all good, so we have the ability and responsibility to demonstrate good. God is all love, so we are blessed with the faculty to express great love. The kind of love that does not tire, does not run out, does not become exhausted. Jake, I didn't ask you if I could do this, but I'm going to do it. Father Jacob told me of an order. What do we call an order?
Oh, yeah, the Carthusians.
The Carthusians. And how they prayed to God. And they got up, what time?
11:30 at night.
11:30 and stayed up for 4 or 5 hours to pray. In the cold. What were some of the conditions?
Well, there's no heat, and it's England, so even in January, even in June, it's about 50 degrees. No
cool.
light, no heat, damp.
And why did they do that?
In the middle of the night is when people who are still awake are people who are suffering the most. People staying up with a loved one, people working late hours, people dealing with grief. So since they can't be with all these people wherever they are in the world, they stay up with them spiritually and pray for them. Just kind of keep vigil, like a parent sitting on the bed of a child that's sick. It doesn't do anything other than to be there.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. And the church throughout the world has nuns and priests praying all the hours, and since they're the most extreme, they take the worst hours, the middle of the night. So they never get more than 3 hours of sleep at a time.
So here we have it. A group of wonderful people who are up giving service and praying to others because that's when it's needed. Not when it's convenient for them. Many people stay away from this particular church. Many people don't know that Jake and the other priests and people fund this. We've all seen it slowly come to be built up as a building over, I don't know, 2 years now? Almost 2 years. Jake and his father do all this work, but some people stay away because it's not a hip, slick, and cool church. It's not done. It's cold. It's cold in here. I know you're cold. You have your jackets on. But you didn't stay away. And why are you here? What is your price of entry? Hopefully, you will get something that money cannot buy. A message, through the meditation, through Heather's music, through the readings that Flo does for us. Maybe you will get something that will change your life today. That's why you're here cold. That's what these guys did. They didn't let it stop them to commune with God, to give service to others. This is part of our greatness. Our greatest attribute is not the car we drive, the house we live in, our good looks, how many friends we have on Facebook or who we tweeted today. The greatest discovery about each one of us is our own divinity. Our own divinity. This divinity is so resilient that if we have no job today, we have the potential to have the job of our dreams tomorrow. If we worked our whole life on a goal and achieved that goal, or didn't achieve that goal, we have the faculty and the ability to change our focus and go in a completely different direction. It's part of our divinity. That's part of our birthright. If our life partner or someone close to us leaves us or dies, we have the potential to continue to have a magnificent life despite a period of despair and despondency. We have in us the ability to overcome the fact of grave illness, to live in the truth of our wholeness and great health. God is great health. We're not born to inherit illness. We are made in the image and likeness. This is part of our divinity. This is part of who we are. God is without limit. And if we are of God, where are our divine limits? Where do you want to draw the line? What good can you not manifest?